Hi Leo, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I'm Liz. We are going to be talking about February 2022. I hope your year is off to a good start. I'll apologize in advance. I'm just finding myself having to clear my throat a little bit more often today. It's been a journey with my whole kind of throat chakra healing opening thing over the last few weeks. But I do have some water here. I'm gonna try not to do that because I know that is kind of annoying. Like that. So anyway, this deck that I'm using has been kind of like drawing my attention to the cards that are on the bottom of the split. Like when I cut the deck to shuffle them, like before I start the video, I shuffle the deck a bunch of times and kind of just get calibrated to your energy and call in, the higher light beings and guides and everybody that I hope to work with. And anyway, like it's just kind of, pulling me to, or just kind of drawing my attention to the split. And I never really actually do that, which is cool. I love that. And for yours today, the first split was the Page of Cups and Wheel of Fortune, which is beautiful because the Page of Cups kind of talks about like an offering of emotion. So, I mean, gosh, like that can span so many possibilities. It can be an apology. It can be like an invitation to partake in some sort of new emotional adventure. It's also a good like manifestation card, like really kind of getting clear in the emotions that you want to feel in the things that you want to manifest. And like the Wheel of Fortune card just kind of talks about, the wheel turning. And I always see the Wheel of Fortune as a good card. I don't care where it shows up and what it shows up next to. I always get the vibe from the Wheel of Fortune that it is a good card. Like, things are changing for the better, or the wheel is turning for the better. So it kind of just seems like whatever this cup that's going to be being offered to you is going to kind of change some things for the better, whatever that may be. I mean, it may just make you feel better. So let's just kind of see like how that comes out, if it comes out in the story this month. So just like last month, we kind of do like a 4-card spread. The first card is the current energy. Next to that is any potential blocks. Underneath that is advice for clearing the block. And then the last card is the energy that we're heading into. We ask for only one card to come out at a time. Look at that. We ask for only one card to come out at a time. We'll take 2 cards if they come out together, but any more than 2, we'll put them back in the deck and keep shuffling. I don't shuffle reversals into the deck, but if it flies out and it ends up in the reverse, we'll leave it in the reverse. And the card does actually need to fall out of the deck. If it flips in the deck, we'll just flip it over and keep it moving because we want the message to be clear. So look at this. Who was I just talking about, right? Like, and I love this depiction of the Wheel of Fortune too, because it almost kind of has like this surrender type of feel to it. Like her eyes are closed. I mean, it looks like she's just feeling good, I can't remember, what is that, tree pose in yoga, I think. And I also love that it's kind of like the culmination of the quote unquote darker and lighter energies. So, you know, it's kind of using both to kind of turn the wheel, because we can't have one without the other, right? Which is beautiful. We have the, dang, okay. You guys might be just having like a big month in February, which is, I love that. But we have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, which talks about our intuition, really being connected to like the universe juice, is what I like to call it. And we have Judgment right behind that. So this is like a major transformation happening. And maybe that can be, you know, what the Page of Cups was talking about, like maybe whatever it is that's coming in or being offered to you is going to kind of help in this transformation, or not. I mean, this could just be something that you have been working on for some time. I mean, you could be trying to manifest some sort of change in what like your luck, the way that your life is going, like your career, your relationship. I mean, really, whatever. Like I said, it can span all possibilities. Beautiful. Big energy. I'm here for it. All right, so what is a block for Leo? What's blocking Leo? It's too many. Also too many. What's blocking Leo? We have the Sun. Again, another major arcana card. Big energy. And we have the Star at the bottom. I mean, seriously, like we've literally only gotten major arcana cards so far. Like, I always see the major arcana cards as the energies that are happening in your life. Like it's, you know, kind of almost like universal intervention type of thing. Like the suit cards, the minor arcanas, they're, you know, like the energy of our emotions, the energy of our thoughts. So it's kind of like, you know, going through the motions of those things. Whereas, you know, the major arcana cards are the actual energies that are present in our life. And so anyway, with the Sun card being in the blocked position, I just kind of get this feeling that there, and I believe that the Sun card isn't that the Leo card? I can't be 100% sure now. I want to say that it is. But with the Sun being in the blocked position, it's kind of like, you know, this either fear of success or kind of just like being afraid that maybe it's not going to work out, or that it's not going to bring you the happiness that you think that it will. Especially, you know, we have the Wheel of Fortune being your current energy. So I mean, you are kind of, you know, working on turning the wheel of your life, right? So it very well could be that you are, you know, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, like I said, we have both energies, the light, quote unquote, and the dark, quote unquote, energies here on the Wheel of Fortune. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows, you know. When big life changes are going on, you know, like there's a lot of things to consider, a lot of pots to stir, or whatever analogy, you know, like you want to use. So this could just be that it could just be possible that maybe you're just kind of getting stuck in like the anxiety or or maybe not like feeling the love right now, because in this depiction of the sun, there's like this kind of flare that's, to me, it's kind of going right towards her. So maybe you're just not necessarily feeling the benefit of this change yet, and it's just kind of causing a little bit of worry in you. And then we have the star card, which again is just also like all of these people are looking up, right? They're like looking up to the ethers. So it almost kind of seems like, you know, you may be having to put a lot of trust in, or just a lot of faith that things are going to work out, which is great, really, because it kind of forces you to like get out of your own way when you kind of stop trying to control a lot of things and you just kind of give it up, and be like, you know what, I'm just going to rest on faith that this is going to work out. So like with the star card, speaking of, you know, the star talks about healing. It talks about keeping hope alive. Like literally, you know, I mean, she's got this string attached to the star. So it's wishing upon a star type of energy, you know, again, like really kind of having to just kind of trust the process and trust that it's going to work out, but actually having that trust, like literally committing to trusting that things are going to work out, whatever it is. It's always interesting when the sun comes up in the blocked position, because it's almost kind of like also like, are you kind of blocking your own blessings type of thing? Like, you know, are you kind of having a hard time coming out of this old energy, and, you know, like you're trying to turn the wheel of fortune. So, you know, like, is it where there's like some resistance to kind of switch over to the sun energy? Like, again, you know, is it a situation where you're just kind of in your own way? Or maybe you don't feel like you're maybe getting as much recognition as maybe you think that you should. So what's the advice? How do we clear this block for Leo? How to clear the block for Leo? How does Leo clear the block? Oop. What's the advice? For Leo. Eight of Cups. You saw how many times I shuffled the deck, right? That is so funny. And I didn't even look to see what was under the star card before. So anyway, so we have the Eight of Cups, which talks about, you know, kind of leaving behind old emotions, like old behaviors, old patterns, old way of like feeling about ourselves, or old way of, you know, feeling about a certain situation. It's all old shit that we're leaving behind. And I mean, in this depiction, it's, you know, you can kind of see that there's these other bowls that sank, and then this one is on fire and she's walking towards, which is interesting because, you know, I mean, this could be the sun, right? So, so it's leaving, it's almost kind of like, it's like leaving this this block behind. And again, like I said, like whatever the block is for you, as far as when it comes to, because, you know, the sun talks about ultimate happiness. It's literally the card of joy. It's everything good. So when it comes up in a blocked position, you know, like, again, it could just be kind of us blocking ourselves from these emotions, or honestly not even knowing how to feel those emotions, because that's real too. So anyway, the advice for clearing the block is to literally leave them behind, which I know is, I mean, it literally can be that easy to just be like, you know what? No, I'm done. This isn't who I am anymore. I've gone through, you know, like healing and whatever. I'm really trying to change my situation, whatever that is. And I'm going to leave all of this old stuff, like all this baggage behind. If you follow any of like Joe Dispenza's, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he kind of talks about how it's literally that easy, or it can be that easy to just stop kind of like going back to homeostasis, like stop going back to the way that our bodies and our minds are conditioned to think and to feel. So anyway, that's just kind of like the inform or the message that I'm getting from the Eight of Cups, because it's just kind of like, leave it, just leave it behind, walk towards the sun, you know, start heading in a better direction. And then, like I said, you know, we have the Star card underneath that. And it could just be also, like I was saying before, like really, stay connected to hope, like really just kind of, and as hard as that can be, because I know that's not really that easy on, you know, like certain days and whatever, but really just kind of try to bring yourself back to, you know what, like I know that I have tried everything else that I know how to do, and I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to try to do the situation differently. And it's like the only thing left, right? Like to just try something new and get a different result out of it. Because I was saying this, I can't remember, to somebody else. I don't know if it was, I don't know who it was, but any type of disruption we have to our old behaviors and patterns kind of forces us to grow and evolve, because it also like opens a door for a new possibility, like a new end result, or a new possible ending, or for things to work out differently than they have before. Because if we're doing things the same way that we have always done them, we're going to continue to get the same result, right? So, you know, if we just kind of allow ourselves even to make the slightest change in the way that we do things or the way that we think about things, then it really kind of opens the door to things working out differently, and most times better than we think they could have worked out. So let's see where we're heading. What's coming up for Leo then? What is coming up for Leo? What's next? What's next for Leo? Did you kind of see how that flipped? Let's see. Yeah. This is actually really pretty cool. And I'm not going to lie, like, I don't think I've ever... First of all, we have 3 8s on the table. So, you know, I mean, that could be of significance to you also. But I don't think I've ever seen this card in the reverse. I love this deck. And like I said, I don't really shuffle reversals into my decks ever. But this is the upright view of this card. The eight of swords talks about kind of putting ourselves in a mental prison. You know, it's kind of being overwhelmed by our thoughts, or kind of just, you know, keeping ourselves, like, you know how that saying of not making a decision is a decision. So, you know, it's kind of like there's too many possibilities, and I'm just going to freeze. So, and this depiction, you know, first of all, she's not even looking at herself in the mirror, but this is how she sees herself. Like, you know, she kind of sees herself wrapped up and not being able to see a way out, and, you know, it's totally out of her control, and, you know, all of the things. But it's almost kind of like in this position, you can really see, like, you can really tell that she's not even looking in the mirror. So this to me feels like, and of course, I mean, just with it being in the reverse position, that just means it's kind of the opposite of what the upright meaning is. So the literal interpretation is that, like, you're kind of coming out of that, right? Like, you're taking the blindfold off. You're realizing that, like, you do actually have more control, more power in the situation than you think you do. Or it's almost kind of like I'm getting this feeling too of like, not even, it's almost kind of like not even paying attention to this energy. And like, you know that it's there, but it's like you're not going to focus on it. And like I said, you know, like before when I was talking about the 8 of Cups, you know, it's making a different decision. It's, you know, trying something new out for. So this to me, like, I'm just kind of getting this message, like, just kind of looking at her face where she's just like, you know what, like, what else can I do? Like, I know that this is here. I've been here already. Not into it, you know, like, I don't want to kind of stay here. So it's almost kind of like I get this like message of like, kind of pondering what other decisions can be made. Like, what other options are there that I'm not thinking of already? And then we have the 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And the 8 of Wands talks about, you know, like, really kind of fast moving communication. So the Wands talk about, you know, action, actually taking action towards something. It is kind of the communication card as well. So, you know, just kind of deciding to see things differently, or like I said, go about them differently, make a different type of decision, is going to kind of like make things move quicker, and probably in a direction that you want it to go in, since the current energy is the Wheel of Fortune, and there is this desire to want to make changes. So I think that's great, you know, and like I said, you know, I know that it's not all rainbows and butterflies when you're trying to make kind of like big changes. I mean, really any type of change is not that easy. But it also kind of seems like, like there's really only one person on each card. So this kind of seems to be like a decision that maybe, or a change that maybe you've been having to kind of go at a little bit more alone. Or maybe you kind of feel that way. But, like kind of going through this process, you're going to come to this point where you are going to make at least one decision differently. And it is going to kind of change the trajectory of where you're heading. And like I was saying before, like with the Page of Cups that came out in well, it didn't come out, but at the split, when I was shuffling, that it could just be, this new way of feeling about something. Or again, I know I'm just kind of repeating myself at this point, but it could be somebody bringing information in, like I said, as in the form of an apology or an offer of some type, or something along those lines. But in an effort not to continue to repeat myself, I will leave it there. Best of luck. Sending all my love. And I will see you next month. Bye.